I was mentioning to you earlier that it's really, really, according to the academic research, and I read thousands of papers on this when I was on the faculty of Syracuse. Basically, it's really hard, if not impossible, to predict with certainty the direction of a stock, but it's very easy to predict the direction of an industry. Like you can look and you say, yeah, yeah, they're gonna we're gonna need more of those things in the future, right? So, for example, when I picked up when I was talking about Oklo, I Oklo was among a basket of stocks. You see, Oklo went up a ton. This oh, sorry, that's Bitcoin. That's the wrong chart. Sorry, guys. But anyway, Oklo shot up like crazy because, and we should talk about Bitcoin too. But Oklo shot up like crazy mainly because because it was part of sort of this group of assets, including like SMR and others that are connected to these small modular reactors that are supposed to be critically important to get enough energy to for all these data centers. So you see this month it went up by 100%. I think it could go much higher. I think Oklo's at 40, it's at 48.87. But once they become super operational and profitable, I think the sky could be the limit for this stock. However, I believe in sort of preparing or hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. So I would sort of just not expect everything to happen overnight. But if you are a believer in this industry, then companies like the Oklos, et cetera, are the kinds of assets where you can look back 5, 10 years from now and say, I'm rich now because of these decisions I made in 2025. Like, and this is something I really want you to kind of consider when you think about how you're going to invest and what kind of investor you want to be. Consistent effort over time is really what makes people wealthy. So you look at Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin right now, right? 107,691. Now, if you were to go back and listen to things I was talking about in 2018, you would hear me say, I think Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000. Right? I said that. I said it in 2017, I think. And at that time, it was far lower than 100,000. And I thought Bitcoin was going to hit 100,000 much sooner. I really did. And it probably would have if we didn't have regulators trying to kill it. I mean, they just hated Bitcoin and they were fighting it like crazy. And they didn't realize the power of the people that believe in Bitcoin. Like they're just these hodlers that just they won't let go for dear life. They're going to go down with the ship. So I think they're the ones who kept Bitcoin alive. So now Bitcoin is at 107,000. Now here's the deal. Look, if you had just if in your mind you accepted that thesis, if in 2017 you'd simply said, I believe that over time Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 and beyond. So let's say that you said to yourself, I'm going to invest $100 a week in Bitcoin and I'm not going to stop. When it goes down, I'm not going to stop. When it goes up, I'm not going to stop. No matter what it does, I'm not going to stop. That strategy, if applied just in 2020 or 2018, 7 years ago, not that long ago, 6, 7 years ago, you would be rich. You'd have at least six figures in your account, which makes you better than 95% of all Americans. Some of you would have seven figures in your account. Some of you do have seven figures in your account because I talked to you. Some of you have been, we've been talking about investing for years. And so I've seen some of you. I've seen a lot of you talk about the $5 a day plan. And there was one guy I met at one of our conferences, and he said that he just bought he bought a $700,000 house for cash, and he just bought another one that was like $1 million or something. And he literally said, I started with the $5 a day plan. I thought that was awesome. Like I was like, whoa, holy crap, what did you do? That's amazing. But the reality is that this is how wealth gets built. So here's the deal. Look, I want you to understand this.